The mental fortitude of an athlete truly never ceases to amaze me. I'm in awe of their superhuman concentration, drive, and focus. With a well-defined goal and the use of their coach's tools, observations, and practice, they can become very successful, but it's not an overnight occurrence. On his TED Talk, Martin Hager explains that sports psychology is used by many elite athletes as a device to gain strategies to increase motivation and deal with stresses that prepare them for competition. I felt that he describes reaching a long-term goal, it's like crossing a wide stream. In order to reach the goal of getting to the other side, a plan must be devised, a path plotted, strategies to cross, including a plan for the what-ifs that may occur along the journey. Although every athlete and coach has an individualized approach tailored to their own personal preferences, Hager says that there are general factors that all athletes utilize to boost motivation and build self-efficacy in their inner belief and confidence needed to succeed. Self-regulation, for instance, is the process of having a long-term goal, like competing in the Olympics, for instance, and having the motivation and cognitive ability to reach that goal by planning and strategizing mini steps that forge a path to the main goal. This process requires forward thinking and flexibility, as well as many skills to achieve that goal, like learning through observation. In the TED Talk, Hager gave an example of a coach who studied players on the other teams by observing their strengths and weaknesses so that their team has a better understanding of the competition that they're against. This way they can come up with a plan on how to respond to different circumstances during competitions. There are also coping skills acquired through the use of self-check-ins at different stages through the mini-goals. Hager discusses the process of self-talk and said athletes have grounded inner conversations with themselves, along with meditations and stretches to help calm them and calm their anxiety and create focus. There's also the use of imagery by athletes to go through their movements in their mind during practice or before a game to imagine the outcome of the way that they want things to turn out. All while this journey is taking place, motivation and self-efficacy is built when each mini step is met or if each challenge is addressed. While sports psychology is obviously useful for athletes, these techniques can also be applied to everyday long-term goals. My first long-term goal is that I want to graduate with my bachelor's degree in psychology. I'm almost there. I have used these steps in the self-regulation process with the same strategies as the athletes, stating my goal, my main goal of getting my degree, plotting my mini steps along the wide stream to get to that main goal. I didn't know it at the time, but I did visualize my hoped-for possible self, holding my diploma and being in a happier place with a career that is much more fulfilling in a community-oriented situation. When I first began, I had a list of required courses from the advisor, and I plucked off one at a time, trying not to look at the pile of courses I had yet to take. Within each course, I lined up assignments for each module, learning things along the way, hitting roadblocks, getting help when I needed it, hearing support from my family and friends, and also learned to deal with failures along the way, all the while building my self-efficacy with each small battle won. And when my motivation took a hit, my personal favorite tools are to use self-talk and journaling. This pep talk in third person on paper, it really helps me work things out when I'm in a rough spot. For my next goal, I want to change my career path from what I do now in medical coding to something more fulfilling. This may be a long-term goal in that I am pivoting to a completely different field, and a series of strategies are going to have to be implemented in order to achieve this goal. My first step is to come up with a more defined purpose to determine what that career is. There are so many job opportunities, almost too many to choose from. However, I do picture my possible self as being happy helping people to acquire things that they need or bringing those together that have a hard time communicating. After school is complete, I will be able to focus more on this, and I'll take those strategies from how the athletes meet their goals by myself creating a more clear goal, career goal for myself. My third goal, and this is kind of a distant one for now, but my third goal is that I would like to learn a different language, namely Spanish. This is something I've always wanted to do, but in order for me to do this, I'm going to have to find out what my motivating factor is first. If I don't have that motivation, I'm learning. If I don't have that motivation, I may not follow all the way through. So I had a thought that after school is complete, after I reach my goal of changing career paths, I think what I'm going to need to do is immerse myself into a culture that speaks Spanish fluently. Perhaps volunteer in an area that will help motivate me to want to push through and learn Spanish for a deeper purpose. It actually scares me to do this, but I feel that more than ever, in order to learn, I need to push myself out of my comfort zone and to keep that forever learning mentality going. Thank you for listening.